Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, we are ready for the event.
These guests today. Make sure you start commenting on the video as I talk. Make sure you share it. We will give you time to share it in your Facebook groups as I add our amazing speakers. We have Alison Cross.
Hello.
Maria Alviz Hernando.
Hi.
And of course, the lovely Andreas Nostra Dahm. I am going to look at your comments now on the right-hand side. And we are here today with our favorite decks. I hope you all brought decks with you. With our favorite decks to read for you. And of course, if you have any questions in the world of tarot, the world of Lenormand, Kipper cards, I believe I have Gypsy cards as well with us. So if you have any questions down that line, you are also welcome to ask them. So guess if you look at our chats, our live chat on the right hand side, we have Melanie. Hello, Melanie. We have Mr. Musa. We have Yasmin. Hello, everybody. Hi, Becca. I always call you Rebecca. Sorry. Hi, Margot. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Yasmin. Hi, Tiny. Hi, Stephen, Lisa. We've got a lot of people on already. The Cuban Crisis. That's a great name. Shayna Cowitz. Hello. Melissa. Hello. So we've got a lot from our groups on Facebook. Erica, Christine. Hello. Anne. Hello. Rita. Hello. Hi, Stacy. I recognize actually the name of the channel as soon as I saw it. Hello, Marianne. Hello, everybody. So what we've done is I have a load of questions from the World Divination Association members. But if you have an extra question, make sure you put it in the comments, and we're going to actually just jump into reading. But what I'm going to let my friends do here is tell you a little about themselves and why they're here with me. So, hello, Alison.
Hello, Tony.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can you tell our lovely YouTube friends and Facebook friends a little bit about you?
Okay, well, I got into tarot back in, I think it was about 2003, became a member of TABI, became chairman of TABI, which is the Tarot Association of the British Isles, have now joined the WDA, of course. I was fortunate enough to speak at your conference a couple of months ago. I have written a couple of ebooks that have now become paperbacks. Gosh, I do loads of things, blog, review, the whole 9 yards.
And Alison's links are in the description as well, if you want to jump over there. You've got a new book out, I believe.
I have, yes. So it was an ebook that I'd written in about 2016 to go. It was really to help with the Wildwood Tarot's Facebook page. The sun has just gone behind a cloud. All my life has all gone to hell because the weather's terrible here. And so eventually people asked me if I would turn it into an ebook, which I did. And so now, like 5 years later, I've actually turned it into a paperback. Excuse me, rushing anything.
And where can everybody find that?
You can find that. It's on any Amazon store. It's under their KDP, so they just print it in the country that you order it, and you can get it from there. So
perfect. And Andreas, can you tell us a little bit about you? It's like being back at school, isn't it? At least I'm asking you this time.
Hi, everybody. I'm Andreas. I am located in southwest of Germany. I'm working as fortune teller here in Germany. I started playing with cards when I was a teenager. And I was always interested in several divination tools. And through the years, I studied a lot about these things. And so I finally ended up doing card reading as a job. And
what's your favorite system?
All. No, my favorite system is Lenormand Italian playing cards. These are my most favorites.
And the lovely Maria Alviz Hernando. I wish I could say it as beautifully as you do. Can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, I hadn't prepared this. You should have warned me.
Never.
No, I know. So as you have probably guessed by the whole name thing, I am from Spain, and I have been reading tarot for about half of my life now, which sounds way worse than it is because I'm drunk. Okay. But yeah, I think about it and it sounds really bad. And well, I am in World Divination Association since 2018, I think. Though
Okay.
I started to become more active last year, thanks to Tony. And what else can I say? I read tarot, I read Lenormand, though I am relearning Lenormand because Tony has, given me her passion for.
And what deck have you brought?
And I have brought Bianconero Tarot, which is the only deck that I am using lately.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I really love it. So this is it. I have plenty of cats, and
she has lots of cats. Cat mom.
Yeah.
So we have lots of questions from the members group. We have a mix between talking about systems and obviously people wanting advice from the cards. So I'm going to start with a few questions from the cards, and then we can have a look at the techniques, etc. So the first question I have is from Brian Parker. He feels that his practice is in a holding pattern and he wants to know where it's going or if it is indeed going anywhere. Alison, would you like to take that?
Yeah, so obviously this is the first time I've done one of these with you, Tony. So the card that I've drawn for Brian, was it you said? So I've just lifted my slippers, my comfort slippers deck, and I got the Four of Pentacles for him. So what I would say is if he finds that he's in a bit of a stuck position, he may be focusing too much on maybe what he can get from it rather than maybe what else he can give.
It's also a great card to show that holding position.
Absolutely.
Financially holding position.
Yeah, he's really stuck. He's separated from the ground underneath his feet by these golden discs. Really, they're on his head, so they're on his mind, and they're in between him and what he needs to be able to do. So that's what I would suggest for that one.
Absolutely. Sorry, I've closed the questions down. As you do.
As you do.
Let's have a look. Christine asks, I'm going to give this to you, Maria.
Okay.
Will it be a good idea to combine healing practice with cards to get better, accurate readings? For example, using Reiki or dowsing or something else in addition to the cards, so not just pure cartomancy.
Okay.
Would it be a good idea?
Okay, give me a second, because I don't do the one card thing. I can't.
You do the 9 cards thing.
Yeah, I can.
Maria pulls a tableau, a mini tableau for her reading.
For everything. So please bear with me. So this was for Christine. So Christine, what I see is that you can get a bit too much into the method that you are using and forget to apply all the knowledge that you have and all the preparation that you have in your readings and in your divinatory practice. And what I see is that trying to add more to it and to combine more techniques as opposed to giving you maybe a bigger sense of or a greater sense of stability, what it can do is open up for more fronts that make you doubt what you're doing. So it might be a bit counterintuitive, you know. I mean, obviously the final decision is yours, but for what I can see, it can take away more than it adds.
Thank you. Andreas, I have one for you. Kim says that her daughter and herself are thinking about buying a house in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
What will be the outcome?
Okay, I take a look if they are going to buy the house.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Christopher. Sorry, everybody. Hi, Adam. GT for everything, Adam says. Absolutely. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. There will be this moving situation. So I think it will be possible for them to buy the house, but they have to solve some upcoming problems. They have to face some problems on that way. They won't be heavy, so go on and follow your aim. It will be successful, but it needs some more time than planned.
Perfect. Okay, Hermit, I'm going to answer yours. Hermit has a health question, which I thought I would save for myself. I won't say the question on live. I will just give you the feedback, Hermit. The answer to your question is that homeopathy and the healing that you are doing on the side will help. It doesn't mean that it will cure it, but it will absolutely have a positive and beneficial effect on your health. However, you know what we readers are like, and we always say, see your doctor anyway, even if it's positive. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just looking through the comments. How long does it take to be really good at reading cards? How many years do you have behind you? Let's ask that. Alison, how many years have you been reading cards?
I started in about 2003, but I suppose it really depends how long you spend. You know, you could start in 2003 and do one reading a week, or 100 readings a day. So it's about the effort that you put in from the time you start. If it's somebody that wants to learn to be a reader, my advice is to just start now, because you're going to be the same age in 10 years' time, and either be able to read cards or not. So start now.
I think the thing that all of us have in common is that cartomancy is part of our life, or taromancy, or cards becomes part of your life. And the more you allow it to become part of your life, the better reader you get. Do you agree, you two at the bottom there?
Yeah, of course. I'm born with cards.
We live, breathe, and what's the third one?
Eat, sleep, and breathe.
Probably.
Live, breathe, sleep. Somebody asks, what's the best spread to use other than the GT, and why? I would always choose a tableau of some equation, so that you can see the correspondences between the cards, but that's me personally. What do you think, Andreas?
It depends on the question and on the feeling. Normally, I think 36 cards is the best way to go to, but there are a lot of situations I feel to draw only 3 cards. when I decide to go with a different spread, I take a spread with less cards, maybe 3 up to 5, not more.
So we have a question from Erica that says, can you describe the man I am meant to marry or be in a long-term relationship with? I actually get quite a few like that. Does anybody else?
Yeah, me
I have
too.
quite a few clients that come
I
asking
do
that
get a lot of
question.
that.
I find a better way to deal with something like that is to say, how will I recognize, or how will I meet, or
Yeah.
where will this person, or when will this person turn up in my
Yeah.
life, rather than describing them as a personality, etc. I don't know how anyone else feels about that.
I would not be comfortable, I think, literally describing somebody, because this is somebody's future that you're talking about. So I would discuss with the client as a way to reframe the question so that they would get a useful answer that would help them identify the perfect person. But, the person's got their life to lead as well. So who you might think is your perfect marriage partner, you might not be theirs. So
stop it.
let's go.
So I will ask, how can Erica facilitate meeting the person that you could have a long-term relationship with? That would be the kind of question that I would ask. Actually, Erica, I think you know this person already, because in the Kipper cards, the gentleman is coming up as an older gentleman, which often suggests that you have met this person already in the past, and you may even have had some form of relationship with them. Could have been a platonic relationship, but could also be a blast from the past, for example, that you haven't completely finished with yet. Will Dale reach out to me? Who would like to take that?
Well, I'm using tarot cards, so for a yes and no, I mean, so that's a bold answer, isn't it? Yes or no. So if I get a wand, or I don't know, let's say a wand and a cup, it'll be yes. And if I get one of a pentacle or a sword, it will be no. So I got a pentacle. So, but again, I would normally sort of sit with the client and then say,
absolutely,
go over the question and try to change the question so that the tarot cards can give a much more rounded answer than a bold yes or no.
So here's one that's great for the tarot, Alison, or which I personally think is an awesome one. I would love to know about the business outlook. And that's Melanie Mitchell. She wants to know at her current business what the outlook is, or the near future outlook.
Well, the card that I pulled for that is this one. So it's going to be, it's not going to be without struggle. And I think that's going to, you can see that about a lot of businesses at the moment because of the situation that we find ourselves in through economic shutdowns in whatever country that you're in. The other thing is that that I tend to say about this card when it comes up is that these guys here at the bottom, these ones at the bottom, you don't necessarily know whether they're coming to help or whether they're coming to do you any kind of damage, but the person is reacting as if they're going to do some sort of damage. So there may be some overtures of assistance made to you. So don't misconstrue maybe some, I don't know, like a grant or something that could help you. Don't see it necessarily as a bad thing, but it looks like a struggle. So a fair amount of self-belief and assertion, and yeah, just keep plugging away and you'll get through it.
Hi, Malkiel. We have a few more on now. Looking through the questions, some good comments. So that was it. Okay, so how do Andreas and Maria deal with yes or no questions? Andreas, do you want to go first?
Yes, I can go first. Or do you want to go first, Maria?
No, please, my guest.
Okay. If I have a yes or no question, I use a small card spread. For example, I pull 3 cards. For example, we have the Lenormand cards. I pull 3 cards, and then I take a look what cards are coming up and what are the cards are telling me. I don't go with the playing card inserts, or I don't go with positive or negative. I go with the meanings of the card. What story are they telling me? Are they telling me a no? Are they telling me a yes? And if so, why it is? They give an explanation. But I don't dive too deep into it. I stay with the core meanings, and then I make the connection. And so I have the result for yes or no.
I think that's a good point. It's a very personal journey for a reader with yes and no's. And we all find our own way by doing it daily. I practice yes and no's daily with my own way. How do you deal with them, Maria?
Actually, it's very similar to what Andreas do. So you probably, if you have seen me, you know my 9-card spread that goes everywhere, and that I am a tableau reader. And even if it's a yes or no question, I need to see a bit the interaction of the cards. I do commit to a yes or no answer, but I really need to see the story, as Andreas said, a bit of the why, or how we get to the conclusion. So that's my system, or
yes,
whatever.
your system. So we have a question. Lisa, our very own Lisa Duffield, asks, how will my teaching business be affected by raising the lesson fee and reducing the teaching list? So raising prices, but reducing the number of students. Anybody fancy that?
I can,
Go ahead.
if nobody else wants it.
It's fine. Go.
Okay.
Go,
Okay.
girl.
I'll be quick.
So, Christine, while Maria's doing that, what about timing questions? I presume you mean what techniques we use for timing questions. And obviously that depends on the system that you use. I am very much with the GT on a timing question, or I use with Lenormand and Kipper, I use the long versus short cards to determine the length of something. Go ahead, Maria, sorry.
Okay, so this is for Lisa about her singing lessons.
Yes.
What I see is that this can be made work, but needs a bit of preparation. To begin with, you would have to expect some losses. So it wouldn't be a dramatic cut in your income, but some losses are to be expected. Now, you have a lot to gain in terms of time for yourself, in terms of whatever are other benefits that are not necessarily financial that you get out of this. But if you don't want, or you can't afford to have these losses to begin with, that later on you would have the opportunity to maybe pick up on more students or whatever. But if you don't want to go through this time where you have less income, maybe you need to tweak it a bit, or prepare your transition in a different way so that the impact that you suffer is minimal.
Thank you. So, Andreas, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What will be the outcome of meeting P? It is a romantic interest for Shayna. So she wants to know what the outcome will be of meeting P.
Okay. I understood right. There's a date, and she wants to know what.
Yes, I'll read you the full comment because I've seen this in our groups before, Shayna, so I do know what you're referring to. She's actually going to meet this guy, but he owes her an apology. So it is a romantic interest, but he does owe her an apology. So she wants to know what actually going to meet him, what will be the outcome of it.
Okay. It isn't that negative, but she has to be careful in some way, because if she will have got too high expectations, there will be a delusion. So she has to be careful. The meeting will be okay and will be fine, but she won't get what she is expecting. So it's better for her to go without any expectations into this meeting, and then decide how to move on. I don't think that she will be satisfied after this, but the meeting in general will be okay. I hope I could explain in the right way.
Somebody's asked, what does September look like for a new job offer? Can you please clarify whether you are looking for a job or whether you've had the offer already and you want to know how the job itself will go? Okay. I'm trying to flick through here and have a look. Alison, we have Stephen Crane. He's one of my favorite Lenormand readers, actually, and he has travel planned for the end of October. He wants to know what the outcome of the trip will be.
And he's all right about having an answer from Tarot.
I think, you know what, I actually think that that's a good thing, because we all get so involved with our systems that I think it's good for me sometimes to receive a message from Le Grand Jeu, for example, or something completely that I generally don't read.
Yeah. So I've switched decks. So I'm using my Alexander Danilov tarot. So that's the card that I drew for what you can look forward to as the outcome for the end of the trip. So you've got a guy standing on the shore and he's looking at his ships sailing away. So if this meeting or this business event or that you have planned for the end of October goes ahead, it looks like it's a good starting point for something that will come to fruition later on. So if you're having a meeting to sort of organise to get something started, then it looks like it will go ahead. Of course, travel plans. Everybody's travel plans are all up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it is a positive card, but it's not really got a huge amount of detail in it about what else to expect, other than to say, because I'm only doing the one card things, that it looks like, yes, he's going to be, whether it's three projects, I'm holding up 3 projects, and there's 3 ships sailing out. So yeah, he's setting out, and they're going to come back. They're going to bring all the plunder back from foreign shores.
So going back to Christine's question on timing, do you have a personal system, Alison, in the tarot for timing?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Different people associate the minor arcana suits with different seasons. So for me, I associate pentacles with winter, swords with spring, wands with summer, cups with autumn. Not everybody has it that way, but that's the way that I use it. So if I was asking a question and the card drawing the positional value was when, then I would be able to say, depending on which suit turned up, that's when it would be. If it was, also pentacles are the most slowest acting. So that's another thing that you can add into it. So, it might be the winter, but if it's a pentacle, it might not even be this winter. If you're just about to go into winter, it may be the following winter. So I tend to do it that way.
That's nice. And that's a similar thing what I was saying before, that everybody with yes or no, everybody finds their own way. But it's only through practicing and getting that feeling, that embodying of the suits in tarot and the singular cards in Lenormand too. So in a one card pull, like the one you did for me, the ones would be summer. Would that affect the reading?
Is that, now I can't remember which question that was.
No, I can't. I would answer for me personally, no, because I hadn't set a...
Yeah, that I would say the same. If the timing aspect of it had been part of the original reading, then looking at it with hindsight, I would draw a different card because it's a different question. So if you're looking for some sort of timing, right, can I just say? So I've got that's the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. So just what we were saying, really, it looks like it would be winter, but because we're kind of already in autumn, I would say maybe even next winter. So for whatever your question was.
Perfect. So somebody says, I'm going through the WDA Lenormand course, and so I'm using original meanings, but how do you know what means work? Okay. We're all going to see Tony get on a high horse now when it comes to something. There is no single card for anything in Lenormand. You don't have a significator for work. You have a significator for your reputation, for example, or whether you're doing well in your position. There isn't one card that will say this is your job. There is a card that will suggest sales coming in. There is a card that will suggest you trading in a position. So you need to learn the Lenormand language. Stop looking for singular significators in Lenormand, and even Kipper to a certain extent, although that's a situational deck. But you need to see it more as a fluid, everything merging together. And that's how you will see a working situation. So if I threw a GT, for example, and I threw a general GT, and I was wanting to see a particular work situation, I would look for cards that signify work falling close. So I'd want to see moon, I'd want to see ship, I'd want to see anchor, and I'd probably also want to see the sun, because that's the amount of energy you put into something. So you need a certain amount of cards to come together in order to come up with a work scenario. So I wouldn't see moon, for example, and say, oh, look, there's the work card. Or I wouldn't see fox. I definitely wouldn't see fox. But I wouldn't look at fox and say, ooh, look, you're self-employed, because I would need at least 4 or 5 cards to corroborate that. And that was Tony coming down from a high horse now. I'm sorry. I get really excited when I'm talking about things like that. I do have a blog on that, Christine. Yes. Thank you, Paulo. He says I'm on my unicorn rather than my horse. Okay. So if anybody has, I think there's some loved ones. I believe in the comments. Let's see if we can get something meaty. I like meaty questions. Okay, Yasmin has a question. It is on love, but it is a little bit meatier than just a general love. If she continues to date, as her friends are suggesting, will it get her anywhere? So I guess her friends are saying, go on dates, go meet people. And she's wondering if that will ever get her anywhere. Does anybody want to take that?
So I know the other guys use more cards. But I do that one, which I thought was quite appropriate, really. So lots of choice out there. She just has to choose something and try to make it real. So, you know, it's all very well looking at people on your phone and swiping right or whatever it is you do, because I don't do that sort of thing. Yeah, so there's lots of opportunities, lots of choice out there for her. She's just going to have to take a step and get out there and get on with it. The first person that she meets may not necessarily be the person, but there are umpteen other people. So go out, have some fun.
That's exactly, I just laid the Kipper as well, because they're great on people. So I laid the Kipper, and it was almost like that Yasmin is jaded from going on dates. And exactly what you said about having fun. It's not specifically the dates that will find you someone. It's the act of going out into the world. And if you're on a date with a certain person, you may bump into somebody else who's actually the date that you're looking for. But I also have the work card in there, which gives me a little bit of a nudge into the direction of it may be a work event or a conference of some description that actually brings you into that. But going on dates won't harm you. Let's see what else we have. Will my sister and I ever be friends again? Do you want to take that, Maria? It's Laura Sutcliffe.
Yeah, of course. Give me just 1 second, will I think?
That's a great question.
I feel I slow everyone down.
I wasn't listening to you. I'm sorry.
Really good shuffler.
She's amazing shuffler. I don't even bother.
Yeah, I can always work in a casino if the tarot thing doesn't work out.
She gives Polo the twitches because he can't watch it.
So this was for Laura about her sister.
Will they ever be friends again?
Yeah. So what I see is that each one of them has a very strong position about, you know, their life choices, their beliefs, who they are and how they want to interact with each other. And I do see that there are some difficulties that you either have to accept as they are. There are some parts, of each one of your characters that you need to either accept or assume that you can't work together. I do see that there is the possibility in there that you can get along, even though I do see that there are multiple boundaries to that. So, you know, you can get along and be friends, so to speak, as long as you respect a series of rules that might feel a bit more strict than a relationship that you would have with some other person. But I do see that it can work out, but you need to decide if the differences that are separating you are a deal breaker or not, and act accordingly.
Very good. Christopher, can you please qualify for me? Oh, there it is. From my major ending, how will my web design go forward? All I want to know is that you've had a major ending regarding the web design and then you move forward. If you just clarify that, then we'll answer that one as well. Rebecca, I tell you what, we'll all pull one for Rebecca. Her meaty question is, what is the best focus for her to grow her business for success? So what can Rebecca do to grow her business?
Something. Something, whatever. If you do something, Rebecca.
Do all the things.
Do all the things.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got the King of Cups. So he is somebody who is he's a very emotionally orientated sort of character, but he is so like some sort of counseling service or somewhere where you can help people with their emotions, as long as you can keep your own emotions out of it. So some sort of service where you are providing help to somebody else.
Okay, I also pulled cards, and obviously I know you, but for me it is leaning towards, I know you love your alternative work, but this is for me your main core business and the design business, and it's actually finding your mojo again. I presume from this you haven't had clients that have really given you that kick that you used to get from it, so that, oh my God, I can't wait to do this design. So for me, it's finding that mojo again, in that you are finding the right clients rather than focusing on what the job is that you're doing now. Focus on how you get those clients that you actually really want, rather than the ones that you have to take. Do you want to add, Andreas?
To add to Rebecca's question for the business to grow.
Yeah.
Okay. I pulled cards while you all were talking. I pulled cards too. And the cards are setting the focus on the way to communicate the business. I have the marketing card, and there is a change. And it means that Rebecca should set a different focus on communication, on the marketing, for example, not changing all, but only considering some different aspects. I hope I was clear in my...
Yeah, that was great. It kind of goes hand in hand with what I said, and marketing it towards the people that she actually wants to work with, or the customers she wants to actually get. One moment, please. So the major ending was with a mentorship which took up too much energy from web design. Okay. So Christopher has experienced an end within his working life and with a mentorship. He is in web design, and he wants to know how his web design business will move forward now without this extra whatever was ended. He's cut out some stuff by the looks of it. So how will Christopher's, should we all pull one card?
Yeah.
Let's pull one card in Lenormand. I mean, I'm not. I'm not stating you all have to. So we will go Alison, then Maria.
Okay, so I'll speak first. It gives everybody else a bit longer to kind of get themselves together. So this is the card that I pulled, which is the Four of Swords, which indicates initially that some sort of pulling yourself back, a bit of R&R, getting yourself back together. In the top corner here, we've got the image that is associated with the Six of Pentacles, I think it is. So you want to kind of regather your energy and your mojo and all that kind of thing together again. And this time you're going to go ahead and you're only going to give what you can afford to give, time-wise, emotionally, spiritually, financially, whatever. And even it will be sufficient to take you forward into the next bit. So instead of going into a kind of burnout phase where I can do all this, I can give you all these services and so on, don't do that. Hold back, get yourself sorted, centered, and give what you can afford to provide for them so that you don't burn out.
Maria?
I'm sorry, the audio broke when you were stating the question. Can you repeat that?
The future of Christopher's web design business?
Oh, okay, lovely. So I have this Seven of Pentacles in here, and the spoiler, I suck at the one card thing, but I I just don't want to try. So it seems it seems to be an endeavor that's going to be proven fruitful as long as you stay, consistent, or as long as you remain consistent in what you are doing, and as long as you know that it is going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight success, but if you keep on doing your thing, it will succeed for you.
Brilliant. Andreas?
I pulled 3 cards.
I did too.
You did it. We were doing one, Andreas.
But 3 Lenormand cards is technically 1 tarot card.
Okay.
Go ahead.
These cards are telling him to move on, to stay genuine. It will be hard, but he will reach a point, and at this point, he think everything is worse, and it can't get worse. But there is coming an unexpected change that leads finally to success. It's a thing of moving on and having always one direction, and it will lead to success, I think. But it takes time.
And mine, actually, I did pull 1 to start with, and then Alison was talking. I pulled letter, and then Alison was talking. I thought, pull a couple more, and we got clouds and birds. And actually, it's confirmed what Alison was saying, in that you need to make sure. I can't actually remember what you said now, but yeah. I was listening, honest, but it did confirm what Alison said, and I believe she said something about making sure that your message is right, or making sure that your communication is right going forward, and not confusing in any way. So when clouds came up next to letter, I thought that's exactly what this is saying, that the web design will move forward, but you need to be sure of what you're selling first. I know that tag freighter, that has to be Brandt. I'm guessing it's Brandt in the comments. So looking through, Polo also pulled stock for Christopher, showing that the business will move into a better place. Okay, so one person has had a job offer. They said they will contact me in August, and I've not heard from them. What is going to happen? I'll have a look at the Kipper, because they're pretty good on that. It actually all looks good. Okay, like any business at the minute, I presume the business itself is, I don't know which country you're in, but in August in Europe, business is slow. Businesses close down for the summer periods. Also with COVID in the mix, that's created more slower periods, but it is just that the core business itself is slow at the moment, but I do believe they will be in touch, and you've got really good cards for that job coming up. So just wait and relax. Okay, what time are we on? We have 10 minutes left. So if you do have a question, make sure you put it in the comments. Let me read this one. A senior has been sending negative vibes at work. Could you tell me if it's a good idea for me to work on my independent project regardless of his negativity? Okay. we need a little bit of clarification as whether that independent project is part of your day job or whether you're talking about a sideline job. And then we can answer that one. It's true, 3 Lenormand cards is technically equal to 1 tarot card. I'm very good at maths. It's true. So let's have a look. We have a lot of questions. Steffi, our lovely Steffi, who is our endorsement manager at the World Divination Association, has asked, how will the start in the new school be for my son? Should we all pull for her? How will the new school start be for her son? And I know already that look at that.
It's good. Go forward with a hopeful heart.
Brilliant.
So
Maria?
I've got traditionally what's considered to be a student.
I hope he doesn't go naked.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very appropriate, but it looks like it's going to be a positive beginning for your son.
Andreas?
3 cards. Star Cloverfish.
You cheaters!
We are. we do our own thing, don't we? The nice thing I got for you again, Steffi, is the main character 1. And I know you got the main character or the man in your read when you did it yourself the other day. And it's a confirmation for you that it's the right place for him to be. He may be nervous right now because we have the new direction of journey in there and we have illness in there. So he may be making himself probably a little bit nervous with it. But because main character came up, it tells me, and the other cards were in an auspicious position, it tells me that it's the right way for him. And just like the other cards have confirmed that it's a new way and right way. Hi, Annette. Oh, we have Love Andreas. We have in the comments. Okay, so somebody is getting really negative. If I say your name wrong, I'm very sorry. Regita is getting very negative vibes from a supervisor or somebody senior to them, and is wondering if they work on this project, what will the outcome be? So if they just ignore the negativity and still go ahead with it, what will the outcome be? I'm going to try and pull 1 card this time. I will try. I'm pulling it from Shimmer and Christine. Ship. If you wanted a confirmation that everything will be all right and it will be a good project, then the ship is the right one. The ship brings in that commerce to you. It is your ship coming in. So for me personally, it worked with Lenormand. I did 1 card. It is a confirmation for you that you should go ahead, or going ahead with the project will be okay for you, or more than okay. Mary Barker, I am working on starting my own business. Is it the best way forward for me? Should we all do 1 or 3?
This is not reading.
You can do as many as you want, Maria. It's fine. I'm not telling you what to do.
Okay.
Oh, I like that card.
More than 1 card, right? So I'll just go and it will give them enough time to pull all their cards. So this is the card that I got for you. So you're thinking about starting up your own business. So this card for me shows movement from a restrictive place, which is like the castle in the background, also a place of safety, to a more open, less structured, more enjoyable, because it looks as if they're all going to be having a dance situation. However, I would say that this isn't a permanent structure. This little bower with the 4 wands on it. So it might be a case of starting the new business, which is going to open things up for you, but also have some sort of security that you can go back and forward to somehow, even if that's just like, and I'm not saying this in any kind of derogatory manner, like a supermarket job, or a job that doesn't necessarily bring you loads of self-satisfaction, but it's a good, reliable cushion for you while you're starting out something new. Right, on you go. Hit me with all your hundreds of other cards.
It's a card off. Go on, Maria.
Okay, so I have stuck to the one card thing. And mine is the King of Swords. So lots of planning going into this. I just see that it is a positive thing for you, and that can be a way forward, but you need to prepare yourself in the more practical aspects of it in order to ensure that you know what you're doing, instead of going into it like willy-nilly, wanting to make it happen but without a clear plan in mind. So make sure that part is covered before you go ahead with it.
Brilliant. Andreas?
Okay.
He has another 2 on the table.
No. Go for it. The ship, a trading card. Let's set sails for seas of business. Go for your business, I would say.
Absolutely. My cards are somewhat different, Mary, and obviously we see the sun there, but the reason mine are different is because I came to it with a different thought process, and it looks like you're actually holding yourself back rather than going for it. There's something that's holding you back, and you haven't, it's like tipping your, as Maria said, don't go about it willy-nilly. You are kind of putting your toe in to see how warm it is, but never truly committing to that business being what's going to sustain you. So there's absolutely a chance that your business will, or there's absolutely the possibility that your business will be the thing that catapults you forward, but you have to make sure you commit to it rather than doing half-ass. Isn't it? We all have to commit. Okay, let me see. We'll do one more question, and that's for Stacy. Her son is at university, and they have managed well with the COVID outbreaks, but she wants to know how the semester will be. She has written, what are the chances of making it through the semester? I presume you mean completing the semester and not his chances of getting COVID. So I presume we should do what will Stacey's son semester bring? So what will be I'm trying to reword it. What will Stacey's son semester? Oh, not being sent home because of COVID. That's a tough one, isn't it? So what are Stacey's, I'll do it quickly. What are Stacey's son's chances of not getting sent home? I'll do a levels with Lenormand. Son's chances of not getting sent home with COVID. I would suggest that I see him completing his semester. I couldn't put money on it being him being physically at university, because I got the mice cards, which when I'm doing a levels card, the mice card is there's a low chance of him not being sent home. So I would suggest there may be some kind of, or there is a chance that he will have to complete the semester at home, or at least have a portion of the semester working from home. Sorry, I did it myself because it was just easier than rephrasing the question. Oh dear. Okay, we'll do one card, and then we'll go, everybody. What is the progression of Nika's love life? They're in a relationship. They're in a difficult situation. What will be the progress of that? You doing 1 or 2 or 3, Andreas?
I think 3.
Okay. Oh, I actually have good cards. I don't know about you.
What was the question again, Tony?
The progress of their relationship. They're in a sticky situation right now, and they want to know how it will then progress. Right. And I actually have decent cards. I don't know about anybody else. I have satisfaction and the home card too, showing that there will be a I don't like the word reconciliation because it's not unless you've split, really. But there are more warmth at home than there has been.
Anybody else? One card, and I got the Hanged Man. So that would kind of indicate that it's not a bad card, but it might be, with this, for me, it's about being prepared to surrender sometimes in order to win. So in order for things to make progress, you might have to both be more conciliatory towards each other.
I think that's great advice.
Yeah. So
because sometimes it just comes down to that, doesn't it? When you're in a tight spot. Yeah. Maria?
So I have 3 cards, which are no 3. Okay, I'm not doing 9. This is the King of Swords, the 2 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups. So I just see the relationship continuing, but in order for this relationship to truly go places and be satisfactory, maybe you need to address uncomfortable things that you have been postponing or that you haven't properly put a name on. You know, sometimes you are bothered by stuff that you can't pinpoint, and spending time not looking for, you know, who's guilty or throwing stuff to each other's face, but trying to pinpoint what are your issues in your relationship, and above all, how can you solve those issues is going to make that relationship progress.
Great. Andreas?
I pulled 3 cards, and cards are showing that the problems can be solved, but they have to pay attention, because I see the relationship moving on, but they have to pay attention because the problems are going to leave some kind of shadow on the relationship, and it's important for them, if they decide to move on, to leave these problems behind, so they should bring them up again. If they say, okay, it's over with these problems, then they have to commit to this and move on, and so it's okay, but it can leave a shadow, so they have to be careful, but it's no ending.
Also great advice. So everybody, thank you so much for spending an hour with me on a Friday afternoon. I truly enjoyed all of your company, and we'll have to do it again. And anybody that's watching, please make sure that you check out the links and go to everybody's links, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston Station, we are ready for the event.